Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Vanaras had the upper hand in the first day of war. Now the day turns into night. Vanaras are not used to fight in the night, but Rakshasas, they break all the rules of the war already and they start their fight in the night. So in the night, when people are not able to see each other, the Rakshasas start attacking Vanaras. When now the fight was happening in such a way that Rakshasas ended up killing Rakshasas. Vanaras also were ending up killing Vanaras. SriRama and Lakshmana, they were using such wonderful arrows that they were killing a lot of Rakshasas there. In the interim, there was a big fight again between Angada and Indrajit. Angada again breaks a chariot, again kills the Sarathi of Indrajit. This time all the rishis, munis, devatas, they all say, wow, wow, what a job, Angada, you have done a really great thing. But then Indrajit suddenly disappears into the sky, and from the skies he starts shooting arrows on SriRamachandra and Lakshmana. SriRamachandra and Lakshmana don't understand from where the arrows are coming. They ask 10 of the Vanaras to go into the skies and search for Indrajit, but Indrajit is not to be seen. First, he starts binding Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana with his arrows. They both start bleeding profusely. The amount of arrows that were coming into their bodies was becoming huge. It's said so that Indrajit does not even leave an inch of body of Sri Ramachandra or Lakshmana where there was not an arrow of Indrajit. So that many arrows are shot on them, and they both are now losing hope. They are trying to figure out where he is, but he is not seen. He is using his maaya and he is becoming invincible. The night time, the darkness, everything is aiding Indrajit now, and everything is going against Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana now. After a lot of arrows, first Lakshmana falls down, then Sri Ramachandra falls down because they are not even able to stand now. So many arrows have been shot at them. Once they have fell down, Indrajit then uses his Naaga paaSa to bind Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, and then he shoots arrows aiming at all the Sena Nayakas. He hurts every one of them, and he tells all Vanaras, look, in one day itself I have won over all of you. I have killed your Prabhu. Indrajit is now under the assumption that Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana have died. He is under that impression. He does not come nearer to check, and he shouts this, that he has won, and all the Rakshasas are very, very happy. He shoots arrows on almost all the Vanaras. He hurts all of them, and then from there he goes back home. And once he is home, he goes to Ravana and says that he has killed Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, and he says he has hurt countless number of Vanaras. Ravana is extremely happy, and now Ravana appreciates, he enjoys with Indrajit for some time. He enjoys everything that Indrajit says. A lot of things are added to whatever Indrajit has told. Basically, there is a huge boasting session that goes on. Once all the boasting is complete, now Ravana looks at Indrajit and says, you have achieved the biggest thing for me now. He goes to AshokaVana, and then he says, all the Rakshasa women should take Sitaamaa to the battlefield, and there they should show her the bodies of Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana. Now, so for this, they forcefully put her on Pushpakavimana, and with Pushpakavimana, they immediately take her to the battlefield. Now imagine this. How do we describe this? This is extremely sad situation, right? So probably we can assume that it has already become the next morning, and so that's why he's asking them to go. They take Sitaamaa there. Sitaamaa sees Sri Ramachandra, she sees Lakshmana, and she sees from the air, she sees the way, the amount of destruction that Indrajit has did, and she's taken over by her emotions. She starts crying, she starts weeping unconsolably. She says, oh, how can I go back to Ayodhya now? Many Jyotish Panditas who saw me in my childhood, they all said that I'll become the wife of a Chakravarti, but now Vaidhavya has come to me. I have lost my husband. Ayyo, what has happened to me? And then she cries like anything. She cries a lot. She says all the predictions that people made, looking at me, all that has gone waste. Ayyo, how can I live now? My husband died. I am in my youth. I thought that I will go along with my husband. I'll give him happiness. I'll cook for him. I'll give him children. I thought I'll do all this for him. But today he himself is not there. Why has this misfortune come on to me? Like this, she cries for a lot of time. And then she says, this Rakshasa has killed them. He has backstabbed them. He did not do a fair fight, or else my husband would have been alive. Like this, she cries a lot. And She's almost on the verge of fainting. There's a huge sarga, a lot of slokas describe this, almost like 30 plus slokas in two sargas we see where Sitaama's Vilapa is there. At this particular point of time, Trijata, the Rakshasis three who had that Swapna, right, which we discussed in SundaraKanda, she walks over to Sitaamaa and she says, "Oh Sita, your husband has not died yet. If your husband died, you will not be able to get onto Pushpakavimana because you can't climb onto Pushpakavimana with Amruta Saucha. Now, look at this. Your husband Sri Ramchandra is alive, and I'm telling you the reasons. First, this Pushpaka won't let you get onto it. Two, look at the other Yodhas around. They have realized that the light is still there in Sri Ramchandra's body, so he has not died yet. And see, you pray God that is going to help them. See, I'm telling you, look at the way they have fallen down. It is only temporary. They are going to come back. This Naaga Pasha is not going to kill them. And this is a great thing. And the entire Vanara army is still standing guard to these people. So that means that they all know that these people are alive. So the moment life leaves someone, his face loses the beauty. But here Sri Ramchandra and Lakshmana, their faces are still beautiful. So you need not worry. They have not died. All this is Ravana's game. Don't fall for it. Then Sitaamaa is happy and she says, whatever you said should become truth. And then she guides the Pushpakavimana back into the AshokaVana. Sitaamaa did not land. She was seeing all this from the Pushpakavimana only. Now Sri Ramchandra is lying here with the Naga Pasha around him. After some time, he quickly gains consciousness and then he looks at Lakshmana and he starts weeping for him, saying that this Lakshmana might have died. And then he says, Sakya Sita Samanari Martyaloke Vichinvita Nalakshmana Samobhrata Sachva Samparayakaha. If I can search properly, I might find another Sita, but I'll never find a second Lakshmana. And he says, if Lakshmana dies, then I'll have no other option but to die. And then he says, how can I face Sumitra and all? He is very sad. And then he thinks of all the good times between him and Lakshmana. And then he tells to Sugriva that you go back because we seem to have lost the war and this Nagabandha is not leaving us. Before you have further damages, I request that you leave and you go back. Oh Sugriva, take your army and go back. And then he says, Angada, Mainda, Dvivida, all of them have done a great war, but you will have to leave now because you have to save the army. Leave quickly. And the moment he says all this, all the Vanaras around them, they were feeling very sad. All of a sudden, Vibhishana moves from there and everyone thinks it's Indrajit again. Sugriva is also now woebegone. He looks at Angada and he says, what is happening? Angada says, have you not seen Sri Ramchandra and Lakshmana are lying down here? So while they were all talking like this, quickly Vibhishana gets his gada. He comes there and he looks at Sri Ramchandra, he looks at Sugriva and he looks at everyone and he says, Sri Ramchandra is not going to die. Lakshmana is not going to die. This is just a Naga Pasha. The wars are like this, Sugriva. Don't lose hope. We will win this war. You just don't lose hope. This is Rakshasa Maya. This has been applied on Sri Ramachandra. You don't lose your energy. You don't lose your thought process now. We will win this war. Quickly send Jambavanta and ensure that all our Sainya is coming back because some Vanaras have already started deserting the army because they are thinking that this war is going nowhere. And then the Vanaras who are leaving, Jambavanta quickly goes and he gets all of them back. Now Vibhishana starts speaking saying that all this was done by the son of my brother. He is a very, very bad guy. He did all this thing. And then Sugriva all of a sudden says, no, I will go, I will fight Ravana and I'll make you the king of Lanka. But Vibhishana says, no, don't worry. We should be able to get things back on track. You are unnecessarily getting worried. Oh Sugriva, don't get worried unnecessarily. We still have hope. We can get back. And in the interim, the Vaidya, Sushena, the Vaidya is none other than Sushena. Now Sushena, who is there, he comes out quickly and he says, we can revive Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, but then we need to get a few things here. I can do the Chikitsa for all of these people. We need Sanjeeva Karani, Visalya Karani. These are in the Kshira Samudra. There is a mountain called Drona on that. This is there. So we need someone to go there and get this. So if they can get this, we can quickly revive Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana. They were thinking that Hanuman should go, Mainda and Dvivida should go. They were discussing all this. In the interim, they see a huge amount of air coming. It was not normal breeze or something. It was just strong wind that people were actually flying. These guys were really worried as to who is coming. And all of a sudden, The waves in the sea also were rising too high. All these snakes, they were running away. The Vanaras were worried as to what is happening. And then they saw Garutmanta on the horizon. Garutmanta comes, and the moment Garutmanta is seen, the snakes or the Naaga paaSa, which was around Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, those snakes also quickly run away. Garutmanta then comes, and then he touches Sri Ramachandra, he touches Lakshmana, they both come back to normalcy, and all the wounds that they had on their bodies, they also get magically healed. Sri Ramachandra, he has just come out of that. He looks at Garutmanta, and then Garutmanta hugs both Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana. Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana realize that their mental abilities, their physical abilities have actually doubled. And then Sri Ramachandra, with all sorts of happiness, he looks at Garutmanta and says, "Who are you? Why did you come here?" and all. Garutmanta says, "I am your closest friend. My name is Garutmanta. I have come here to help both of you. But oh Sri Ramachandra, please remember this much, that this Sarabandha, this Nagabandha is such huge that nobody can break this. But I have come here because I am your friend. I have come here. You both are Bhagyavantas. Because I am your friend, I was following the law of friendship and I came till here. And please don't believe the Rakshasas in the future fights. Oh Sri Ramachandra, I know you want to know who I am, but I'll come and tell you when it is the right time. But till then, you have to focus on this war." And then he goes around Sri Ramachandra, and then he hugs him again, and from there they go away. Then all Vanaras are now very happy that their king has come back. But because of Garutmanta's presence, a lot of them were also healed now, right? So they are all very happy. They see Sri Ramachandra, they get back their energy. They know that if it is a fair war, they are going to win. And now that they know how Rakshas can attack, they are now making strategies about the ways in which they can now get back on to those Rakshasas. So they make a huge noise, and that noise disturbs Ravana. And in some accounts, in some books, we see that when Vanaras make this happy sound, Sitaamaa also was extremely happy, because Trijita goes and tells her that, "See, the Vanaras are making Simhanada again. That means Sri Ramachandra is alive and they are asking for a fight." Now Ravana also realizes that he is also puzzled that why are these Vanaras making such huge noise. He is also puzzled. And then what does he do after that? Well, let us see that in our next episode. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, sarvam sri sasmarastam charana arvindarpanamastu. Swasti. Jai Shri Ram.